Hey guys, and welcome back to Not Easy Being Geeky, the podcast where me, the host, Rachel, talks about nerdy shit. And today we're talking about animes that I wish had a season 2. Let's get into it. Hey guys, and so we're gonna be talking about some animes that I wish had a season 2. As of now, none of these have any confirmation that there is gonna be a season 2, and two of them are older, so I don't really have high hopes for them. And then another one was newer, but typically with anime, like if it's not announced within like the first like few months after the first season's been released, it's the likelihood of it getting a second season drops like dramatically. And if it's not announced within like the first year, then it's probably not happening. There are rare occasions that it does happen, but I mean, we're talking really rare. I mean, like, first one that comes to mind is like Devil is a Part-Timer. It was like 12 years before that got a season 2. And it just came out. So yeah. But we're gonna be talking about 3 different animes that I love. Um, One of them is like one of my all-time favorite comfort animes that I watch at least once a year, at least. Justin can probably tell you that I've watched it at least twice this year already. So just by saying that, he probably knows which one I'm talking about. But we're gonna be talking about 3 different animes. First one we're gonna be talking about is Yuri on Ice. Second one is Kotaro Lives Alone, and the third one is Devil's Line. They're all completely different animes, completely different vibes. So I really wanted to talk about things that were just not even in the same realm. And we're gonna start with Yuri on Ice, which if you don't know what Yuri on Ice is about, I'm gonna give you a little mini summary as to what it's about. It's a sports anime about a male figure skater named Yuri Katsuki who is on like the verge of retirement, and after going viral online from a friend like secretly posting a video on like YouTube of him skating to his idol's skate routine, his the very famous skater Viktor Nikiforov shows up unexpectedly asking to be his coach, who is his idol. So that's kind of like a very shortened summary of what it's the main storyline's about. Guy shows up unexpected and he's like, "Hey, I saw your video of you doing my routine. I want to be your fucking coach." Also, this guy like was always bombing like at competitions. He just has like zero confidence in himself and would get in his head and fuck up every time. But Yuri on Ice is one of my favorite animes of all time, and it's just such a good story, and it is one of the first like good like boy love animes I've seen, because unfortunately a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people that like see like romance anime, if they're into like boy love or like girl life animes, which are LGBT, friendly, um, or let me loosely, there is a lot of times where there's sexual assault, and they make it like normal, and it just really grosses me out. That happens so often or in so many of those animes, and it really puts a bad stigma on a community that already has that stigma, and I really don't like that. This one does not have any of that kind of stuff, and I love it. There is a pervy character, but I don't know a single fucking anime that doesn't have a pervy character at this point. And so, uh so where do I even start with this? Um, Yuri on Ice, if you don't know, I am fully aware that yes, they've announced a movie, but the thing is that it was announced at the beginning of the Panini, uh, and all we got was this like 1 minute clip of a trailer, and it looks beautiful. Like, it looks so good, and it's Victor in his youth. I'm assuming before he met Yuri. And that is in, like, his prime, essentially, and all you see is this little clip of him skating, and that is it. And then it pans out, and you see the title of the movie, which is Adult, like, God, what is it? It's gonna drive me crazy. Ice Adolescence, that's what it was. And, it's been so fucking long since they announced it, and there has been no updates. And I mean, I check this shit at least once a month because I just want to know something. I just want to know what the fuck it's about. What, like, are we gonna see any clips of him now with Yuri? Is it like a flashback thing where it's just that? Or is it like going in between of him like looking back on his prime? Because spoiler, if you've never seen Yuri on Ice, I'm gonna say spoilers in all of these things. So if you don't want spoilers, maybe not the episode to chime in on. But if you're cool with them, then fair warning now, there's gonna be shit coming up. So at the end of Yuri on Ice, after the 12th episode, which is the final episode, you find out that Victor and Yuri will be competing against each other, essentially, in the same, what the hell is it called? Brain fart. Anyway, in the same, like, rank, I guess. Brain is completely blanking on what the fuck it's called in ice skating right now. I'm sorry. I actually do know, because I actually, like, in the Olympics, that is my favorite fucking category. And, like, I love that shit. Anyway, so, and I don't even like sports. The thing is, okay, side note, I don't like real sports. I don't like, and that's not saying that ice skating isn't a real sport. That's not what I mean. I mean, I don't give a single fuck about sports, so I don't keep up with them at all. But during the Olympics, bitch, if I ain't watching the Winter Olympics where there's fucking snowboarding and ice skating and all that cool, like, all the cooler shit is during the ice, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I could give two fucking shits about the Summer Olympics other than gymnastics. I don't give a single fuck about anything else. So anyway, I actually do know what I'm talking about. I swear. I just can't remember it right now off the top of my head. Because my brain, I just ate sushi and I was starving and I think I still got hungry brain right now. But so they announced that they will be competing against each other essentially while Victor will still be coaching Yuri. So I want to know what the fuck happens after that because I love them so much. Like, basically, the thing I loved so much about Yuri on Ice was essentially the first time I watched it, I was watching it when it was like it had just come out, and I was watching these episodes week by week. And if you were a Yuri on Ice fan when it came out, it was so shocking when you find out that Victor did not just randomly show up. He saw that Yuri had posted this video of him dancing to his routine, or not dancing, but skating to his routine. Spoiler, skating to his routine. And you find out that just a year before that, Yuri got so plastered fucking drunk, he doesn't remember meeting Victor. And that he was like flirting with him the whole night and like rubbing all up on, like he got so plastered drunk, he could not remember meeting his idol, and Victor like really liked him, and then essentially Yuri does not remember this and ghosts him. So Victor was just chasing him and has been like giving him all these signs like, dude, what the fuck? You like were hitting on me that whole night and now you don't even want to fucking talk to me. I'm here to be your coach and shit. And like, it's like you're thinking that Victor is essentially like a man whore this whole fucking season, and then you find out it was Yuri that was the man whore and he doesn't even remember it. Anyway, it was so good, and just like the love that they have is so sweet because during like Victor coaching Yuri, he builds up so much more confidence because Victor is teaching him essentially how to be confident in himself because he is talented. His only default is that he doesn't believe that he is. And so it's debilitating to him. Side note, I also really want more shit about my boy Yurio, because that's not his actual name, but there's two Yuris. There's Yuri Plisetsky, who is Russian, and then there is Yuri Katsuki, who is Japanese, which is the one that is the main character. That is sweet little cinnamon roll, but then like a total like man-ho when he gets drunk. And so total playboy. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, really, like, it turns into a completely different person when he's drunk. And so I want to know more about Yurio. They call him Yurio so that they don't fuck up the two Yuris. Anyway, so he hates that, by the way. Yurio is one of my favorite characters because he is a total asshole. And you guys know, I love the asshole characters. They're always my favorite. I love those cocky fucks. And that's exactly it. Yurio is like one of the youngest skaters, and he's a total badass. And I love him so fucking much. And I want to know more about his story too, because he is technically in this like main story with Victor and Yuri, because Victor kind of also promised to coach him and he forgot about his promise. So there's like backstory there too. But also he has an interesting story in the sense that, you know, he wants to be like Victor, but not in the sense like he wants to be better than him. You know what I mean? Like he wants to like dethrone him, kind of a vibe. And there's just like so many good like side characters that essentially you get to know them a little bit, but I want more. I want more. First of all, anyone that's like a huge Yuri on Ice fan will know Chris. God. It's a moment that I wish I never had to see in my entire life. I'm not even gonna say it because you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it's also one of the best moments because you're just like, did that actually happen? And then you're like, it did actually happen. But you get like a peek into like each of these characters a little bit. But I know that there's so much more with like Victor and him and like some of the other characters. And I would just love to see that. And it's like, we know so little about Victor, essentially. Like, we know that he's super famous and like that he's like a record holder for, and like basically impossible to get his ass kicked. But we only see a glimpse of that through the series. We know that he's Yuri's idol and that Yuri has been like obsessed with him since he was little. By the way, they have like a small age gap of like 5-6 years. So like Yuri has like essentially worshipped this guy growing up. It just like, I want to see more because I want to know, like, also I've talked about this before actually, that like anime fans are psycho, especially when it comes to this stuff. So essentially, again, spoiler, they essentially get engaged. And there was a recent like official art that came out where it looks like it's, I'm assuming, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's that they're at the Olympics and Victor has his arm around Yuri and the ring isn't there. And the entire fandom freaked the fuck out. There was like, what the fuck are they called? What the fuck am I thinking of? Oh my God. Conspiracy theory. Jesus Christ. I don't know why the fuck. I'm like, speaking of Jesus. No, I'm kidding. Jesus. There were like conspiracy theories that like they're getting a divorce. Like all this crazy shit that like people were like over analyzing this picture. They're like, no, maybe it's the wrong hand. Maybe, and it's like, no, that's the right hand. Cause like in certain countries, and then they're like, no. Anyway, turns out that that Mappa just like forgot to put it in. They like just forgot to animate it. And then they were like, we fucked up bad. And they republished it with the ring. And everybody was like, oh, thank God. Like, they're okay. Like, everyone was like, no. So like, that's like how hard this fandom goes. Like, I love it so much. Like, it was an anime that like, the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is cute, but I don't think I'm gonna, like, love it." And then, like, when you get that big twist at the end, you're just like, "Wow," like, this, like, completely changes the entire story because 'cause you're like, "Why the fuck is this dude just here out of nowhere?" And, okay, it's cool that, like, he saw his routine and, like, Yuri killed it, by the way, but, like, ugh, just every time. Do you have those animes that, like, you wish you could see it again for the first time so you can get that feeling you did the first time you watched it? Because every time I hear Yuri's skate routine play, I'm like, "I wish I could hear that for the fucking first time." Because every time I watch it and you see him skate for the first time to, spoiler alert, Yuri on Ice, uh it just, like, every time I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna cry," cry because like, it hits me in the feels every time I rewatch it, but it's like, I wish I could hear it again for the first time because essentially, like, he was told so many times that that song wasn't gonna work for, like, the routines he wanted to do, and he just kinda, like, chucked it. He was like, "Eh, whatever," he had a friend write it up for him, and he's like, "No, I wanna skate to it this time," and it's again because he finds that confidence to where it's like, "Ah!" And, like, you guys will know that literally he has, like, a physical appearance change anytime he gets in, like, that confidence mode, like, glasses come off, hair gets slicked back, like, he looks completely different, and from, like, this sweet cinnamon roll to this, like, super sexy, you know, confident person, because confidence, like, shines outward, you know? Um, and God, I want there to be a season 2, not just to, like, satisfy, like, I wanna know what happens after, but because, like, I think, like, it really has the potential to have more seasons, like, especially if he ever goes to, like, the Olympics to compete or j it's just so cool, and to learn their story and what happens after they compete, like, I would love to see them in competition with each other. I think that would be so cool to see that story, and it doesn't have to have, like, 7 seasons. I mean, like, tops, like, 1 more season, and I would be satisfied, you know what I mean? 'Cause the movie, if it is just about Victor's past, it's not gonna satisfy me. I want a season 2. I want it so bad, and, like, again, there's just so many good characters in it, and I just wanna know more, like, I wanna see their relationship together, like, how that progresses. I want to see, like, I wish I could also see, like, Victor's side of the story, because during the whole thing, you're seeing it from Yuri's perspective, in other words, completely fucking oblivious. Whereas Victor, he's like essentially throwing himself at this guy who he thought was interested in him, then sees him do his routine and he's like, "Okay, bitch, what is this? Like, what are you fucking with me right now? Cause you've ghosted me for a year and then you're basically like, hey, I'm doing your routine. How do you feel about that?" And it's like, what? God, it has so much potential to be even better than it already is, because there is so much that they could do with it, and that's why I want there to be a season 2. But yeah, Justin will tell you, like, I watch it, like, at least twice a year, and the first, like, he's seen it, like, playing in the background so many times, but not too long ago, I made him sit down and, like, watch it with me, and we binged it in an entire night, and he was like, "Actually, that was really good." And I was like, "Right?" But it's funny, it's, like, touching, it's and, like, there are not that many animes that you could say not a damn bad you cannot say that nothing bad happened, like, the worst thing that happens in this fucking anime, like, the worst conflict, essentially, is that Victor's dog chokes on, like, on, like, a bun or something. I can't remember what it was, but so then Victor leaves to, like, go take care of his dog, but the dog was fine. It's like, that's the worst thing that happened? Okay. Like, also, I love his dog. Like, I want all the merch of his dog, like, the little tissue box that they have, I want it so bad. It's so fucking cute, 'cause, like, it's so spot on with exactly, like, how the dog looks that you anytime I saw something, I was like, "Is that his dog?" 'Cause I could not tell if it was merch or not. It was just so fucking cute. I want it. I just want it.
We have like 0 tissue boxes though.
I will buy a fucking tissue box for that fucking thing. It is so damn cute.
It is pretty cute.
Like, and oddly enough, they're like, I cannot find Yuri on Ice like merch like anywhere. I cannot find it anywhere. It's like the fandom is like so huge but so small at the same time. Like, we don't get merch, bitch. And it's like, I just want like Yurio's tracksuit. I just want like Victor, a plushie of Victor's dog. I just want simple things, damn it. I want a body pillow of Victor. Is that so much to ask? Like, nothing like lewd. I like want like sweet Victor, you know? Maybe if it's like the back, then maybe like his butt cheeks, because I think that would be funny, because like literally there's like the whole scene at the hot spring where you see his ass cheeks. That part like cracks me up every time I see it too.
Body pillow of Chris.
Oh my God. Chris. No, that would just make me so uncomfortable. But the thing is like Chris isn't necessarily like pervy. He's just like overly confident. You know what I mean? It's like he's like, yes, I'm a slut. Hulk has. But anyway. Also, I actually love the dub for this one because it's one of those ones that it's so bad it's good. Because there's so many characters from different countries. They have accents, but the accents are so bad that it's so good. But I do prefer the you know, the Japanese sub. But every now, like majority of the time I'll watch the dub because it just cracks me up. Honestly, it really makes me laugh like 10 times harder.
When I found out who does Chris's voice.
Oh my God, yes, Vegeta.
Yeah, All Might.
All Might. God, he has so much fucking range. Like, I love him so much. But it's like, how? How did that happen? Oh, he also plays our boy in Fruits Basket too. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name? Oh my God, but he also does him too. God, it's gonna drive me crazy. But you guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah.
Which one?
Our flamboyant boy. Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. I gotta go look it up now. Hold on. Pause. Little mini break to Google. I'm literally Googling like flamboyant Soma.
No, you're fine. Oh, the rat's brother.
Yes.
I can't remember
his
name.
He was the snake, yeah. Oh my God, why can't I remember? Ayame, yes. Oh my God, why couldn't I remember that? Yeah, I love him. He's like my favorite character in Fruits Basket. He cracks me the fuck up. But God, I just love him. Anyway, he does his voice too in the dub, so it's just like he has so much range. Like, it's not like, which, by the way, I'm not shitting on him because I love him so much. Anytime there is a character with dark hair, he better fucking play it. Like, if there's a smart character with dark hair, he better fucking play it. And you guys know who the fuck I'm about to say. J motherfucking Michael Tatum. J Michael Tatum, okay? I fucking love him so much. And he plays like if I'm gonna watch a dub and if there's a character with dark hair and glasses and he doesn't fucking play them, I'm rioting, damn it. He is like one of my all-time favorite voice actors. And it's because it's like he has the perfect voice to sound like so like proper and intelligent, but also like naughty. Like he plays Sebastian, he plays oh my God, why am I blanking on everybody today? I'm like and going insane. But anyway, it's not fucking important. But anyway, you know who the fuck I'm talking about. I love him so much. And if a fucking anime doesn't have him playing a character, I get so mad. I'm like, could have had J. Michael Tatum. Could have had I was like, you could have had him. Maybe they couldn't afford him. I don't know. But I love him. Anyway. All right, so that's wrapping up Yuri on Ice. I've gotten everything I needed to say about that one. And we're moving on to Kotaro Lives Alone, which we need to settle down because it's actually very sad. Very sad anime. It is not an anime that it is not for the faint of heart. And it's because it hits so hard. It's like an anime that I was not expecting at all to be the way it was. Because on the outside, it looked very like cute and like comedic. And there are comedic tones to it, but it's more of like quirkiness. And then when you find out the reason for that quirkiness, you're like, oh shit, he's traumatized. Like, that's why he does the things he does. He's fucking traumatized. So I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, so Kotaro Lives Alone is about, if you don't know, it's a little boy who moves into like a shitty apartment complex and makes friends with some of the other tenants. And they kind of become like this found family aspect. Um, and then they, look out for him because he is alone. He's like 4 years old on his own. And you're like, how the fuck did a 4-year-old end up on their own? And how is that fucking possible? Um, at all. Well, spoilers ahead again. So Kotaro, he lives alone and he receives these like large allowances every like week or so from like an anonymous party, and you don't know who it is. He just has someone from the like an official agency bring him money, and he uses it to take care of himself. He goes grocery shopping, pays the rent, things like that, like adult things that like I mean, let's just say he's a baby. I mean, he's 4, that's a toddler. Should not be doing on his own. And like the entire neighborhood like knows him and kind of looks out for him. But honestly, in my opinion, it's just like so fucked up why no one has, if the community loves him so much, why has no one like thought, let me take this kid in? You know what I mean? And so again, with this newfound family, his next door neighbor is like, this kid's by his fucking self. Kid, why are you the fuck alone? And he like just kind of takes it upon himself to like be more mindful and start like looking out for the kid, like walking him to school every day, having dinner with him, going to take him to the bathhouse to make sure he like has a bath and stuff, and develops this like close relationship with him, like a fatherly figure. And you find out that the way he's receiving this large amount of money is because his mother passed away, and he has no clue. He does not know how, like, who gives him the money or like why he receives it. He just knows he's not allowed to be around his dad again. You find out that his father was like super abusive, and so his mother had put out a restraining order on him to protect Kotaro. And so she dies, and her life insurance money is what is essentially funding his way to live, which is like so sad. And even like the woman who like started to bring it to him, they were like, you can never like tell him why he like gets this money. And she was just like, I don't know how I could do this every week. Like, cause he always wanted the people to like stay, and he would give them presents and stuff. And like, then when she found out like what it was, she was just like, I just feel so bad. I want to like make sure this kid's okay. And, again, newfound family kind of a thing. And you get little glimpses into the other tenants' lives. Like you have this guy who's kind of like a mobster vibe who like loves Kotaro so much because he thinks he's like the cutest thing in the world. And at first glance, you think this is like an inappropriate kind of a thing, but then you're like, oh no, he like genuinely like means like, you're just so cute. I just want to love you and like take care of you, because he cannot do that with his own son. And so he's seeing Kotaro as like his kid. Like, I wish I could do this with my son. So you find out the way that they all kind of interact is like based off of their own traumas. And it's just, again, like, it's like real life shit. And I think that's why it hits so hard, is because you're like, damn, like, this poor kid, the reason he does things is because, like, you find out that Kotaro has like this obsession with tissues, and he was like spending so much money on tissues, and they were like, why do you need so much tissues? And it's because like there were points where he was so neglected that he was surviving off of eating tissues. And you're like, bitch, what? Like, that's horrible. like that he was just like eating tissue to survive. And so because of that trauma, he's like, "Oh, well, just in case if I run out of food, I have this." And you're like, "Damn, that hits so hard." And the thing is like when you find out this stuff, um, you know, the way it ends is just like it's like the moment that like had me like sobbing, like uncontrolled. Like I was like hyperventilating sobbing because he goes to visit his grandparents' grave and his neighbor is like, "Oh, well, let me go with you." Like something in him was like, "Well, let me come with you." It's just, you know. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, you can come with me, whatever." And the guy did not know his mother was gone either. Like, um, and the kid still does not know because no one will tell him. And so his neighbor goes to see the grave and he's, you know, paying his respects with the kid. And he was like, "Well, what's your last name?" And he goes to like look at it and he realizes that it's not just his grandparents' grave. It's his mother's grave too. And so he says, "Hey, anytime you come here, can I come with you too?" And it's because he doesn't want the kid to see his mother's grave. So that way he can make sure he never accidentally sees it. And it's just like so sad because one side of you is like, why wouldn't he tell him? But also you realize that this kid is a baby and has already been through so much. What is telling him that his mother is dead gonna help? That will just only further the reality that he is completely alone. And so it's like he does this to protect him. And it's just really, yeah, I know Justin's like, "Holy shit." Yeah, it's really sad and
I remember you watching this, and I usually am involved in something else when she's watching these most of the time, whether it's like working on something or whatever. But I just remember her reactions just coming from the TV, which, to be fair, are usually bold and all over the place from what I can gather. But I remember during this one, it was just like I've seen an anime make her cry, but definitely not like that.
it cuz it was just so unexpected. Cuz again, like you don't know like again, I cannot stress this that you don't know like that this is what's going on until like this moment. You know what I mean? So you have no clue that his mother is like fucking dead until that moment. Like you knew that he was getting the money because of his mother, but they kept that like pretty aloof until that moment. And all you kind of really know is that his dad's a piece of shit and is like stalking him. He hired like a private detective to like see how his kid was doing and shit, but he has like no access to this kid at all and does not deserve it. Cuz you start to see like they show like little like flashbacks of him being traumatized and you're just like, "Man, this dad was a piece of shit. He does not deserve to be in this kid's life if he's going to be like that." And it's kind of one of those situations where it's like the dad's just being selfish at this point just to say like, "I have my kid back," not because it's actually good for the kid, just so that they can be like, "No, I have my kid." Like out of pride. And it's just so sad because you also see not just Kotaro's story, but again, the tenants' lives too. He has like a newfound family, and you find out that one of the women, the lady that was living there, she was like, I don't want to say sex worker, but essentially that. She was essentially like an escort and he like kept going to her job. It's like at like a club, so it's pretty tame, but even still, she was like, "Kotaro, you can't keep coming here. It's dangerous." And he said, "Well, I just miss you. I wanted to spend time with you, and I see that you come here every day." And you're like, "Damn it, kid." Fuck. And then you find out the reason she's been living there is to essentially escape an extremely abusive relationship that she ends up going back to. And it's like, again, one of those moments where I was like bawling my fucking eyes out because she's like leaving him essentially for his own safety because the guy came to look for her. And she was like, I don't want to risk like anyone else getting hurt because he's looking for me. Again, real life shit, man. And his main neighbor, the one that lives right next door to him, is a manga artist. And you find out that the reason this kid wears the same exact shirt every day, I mean, he has like a million of them, but like he wears the same shirt every day because he would go visit this guy like every day. And it turns out he was a fashion designer and was like annoying the kid. And it was just because the kid was bored. Like he didn't know he was like alone. And then when he kind of like figures that out, he's like, oh my God. And so he makes him that shirt and it says, I think it says God on it. Yeah. And like, anyway, it's just, there's so much in this anime. And to me, it just went so under the radar. Like it was popular at first, but I did not really see many people talking about like how it just like was so emotional and like so raw, but it's not all sad. Like I want to stress that there were like so many like sweet, real, like and funny moments. And that's why I really enjoyed it was that it was like not just like this sad ass anime. Like it had really good points of like funny comedy moments, but I just want to know more. Like, it has not been confirmed to have a season 2, and it's one of those animes that, like, I was like, "Well, I'll just read the manga then." Well, bitch, I fucking can't because I read up to the point that they essentially released in the anime, and the other half, which is, like, about 4 more volumes, so in other words, another amount for a second season, has not been translated into English, so I can't fucking read it, bitch. And I'm really sad about it. And I just want to know what the fuck happens. So I cannot find out what the fuck's going on until they, you know, translate it, if they translate it. And then I'm like, well, shit. I'm really fucking sad because I just want to know, is my little baby okay? Um, because again, there's like so much shit that happens, and you're just like, there is totally room for a season 2 and to, like, get more in depth into some of the other characters' lives and his life. Like, what was it that finally led to that moment that and, like, how did he get to that point? Because like, you really just like, the way it essentially starts is, like, him just walking around town and, like, everybody knows him. Like, hey, Kotaro," like, whatever. And it's, like, normal that they just see him alone all the time. It's just really sad, but I loved it so much, and I just wanna know what happens, like, what other trauma did he endure too? Because, like, clearly his dad was a major piece of shit, and, like, his poor mother must have like, either she was also not a good mother, but, like, tried her best, or she was also a piece of shit. You really don't know that much, because clearly the kid was neglected enough to starve to the point of eating tissues, so his mother must not have been the greatest either. Either because she was getting the beaten the shit out of and, like, physically could not take care of the kid, or she was also fucked up. You know what I mean? This is just a perfect example of not everyone will be a good parent. And anyway, that's for anyway. So, I just wanna know what happens to that sweet baby boy, and, like, everybody else. I wanna see if they're okay, if that girl's okay too, like, I just wanna know.
There's room for character development for not only him but also everybody, and that's the what I think of what you're exactly just stating right there is that there's ways to wrap up a story, and then also there's ways to learn more about these characters, and I think that it's gonna kind of go two for one, meaning like I think in order to learn more about the main character, the young kid, everybody else's stories need to be like I think people have to experience things to get themselves through their traumas to help out with this kid and his trauma in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I think probably my favorite aspect of this was, again, I love a good found family story, but just you see the growth. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his neighbor that it lives directly next door, he was like essentially like a lazy bum, like just basically like going about life, just barely passing by, just getting the bare minimum done. He is small manga artist and was like just trying really hard for a long time to get something done. And then he finds out that like this kid loves this cartoon. And so he starts like drawing stuff and like that inspires him again, is just being with this kid. And you realize that he's grown up so much because he wants to take care of this kid. And even though he's like super young and like has always been this like bum, he's like, no, but I want to clean up my shit to take care of this kid. And he kind of becomes like his father figure. And you're just like, man, again, like the character development is just so well done in just a short amount of time. I believe it was only 12 episodes and it just really captivated me. Like I could not stop watching this anime and it was so good. And I highly recommend you go watch it. If, you're into like a good cry your eyes out anime. But it was really good, and I really enjoyed it, and I totally would watch it again. It's not one of those ones that you're like, "I could never watch it again." It made me cry too much. I can never watch it. Grave of the Fireflies. If anyone's a Ghibli fan and you know that fucking movie, I have only watched it once, and God, that was the only time I could ever fucking see it, bitch. I have never cried so fucking hard in my entire life than when I saw that movie for the first time and the only time, okay? It's so sad. Anyway, beautiful movie, but really, really fucking sad. Okay, could not an ounce of fucking happiness. Ugh, but not like that. It like, and as good of a movie as that is, it's I'm saying is that there is light moments in this that make up for how sad it really is on the undertone of it. Ugh. So now that we talked about a sad anime, talked about a sweet love anime, now we're gonna talk about a mix of romance and badassery. And it's called Devil's Line. It's a vampire anime, loosely. Like it could totally be like Tokyo Ghoul 2.0, honestly. Um, because they're called devils, not vampires, but that's essentially what they are. Um, but man, do I feel like this anime is so fucking underrated. It came out a while ago too. And that's what sucks. I know this shit's never gonna get a season 2, especially the way they ended it. Um, but I need to read the manga. I really do, because I just want to know what the fuck else happens. Because essentially, again, so many spoilers in this episode. I cannot stress this enough. But essentially what happens at the end is at first you see them like Anzai and oh my god, why can't I remember anyone's name? Tsukasa, they get like separated because the shit goes down. And so then essentially they're get separated for a very long time. And then there's a time skip and then they get reunited. But there's so much shit that I know had to have gone down in those years that they didn't see each other. Like, why the fuck can't I have a season 2 of that? Like, okay, yeah, we have the time skip. We can see the shit before the time skip and then come back to when they get reunited again. There's so many animes that do that. So why can't we do that? But what okay. Sorry. I got getting ahead of myself. Devil's Line is to me so underrated because got badass characters. We got a white hair character, already top tier anime. We got a character that looks better the more their life falls apart. Already 10 times better, right? We got a love story. We got kick-assery. We got like fucked up shit. Like it's so fucking good right off the bat. And it's also a little spicy. Like it's a little sexy. But like again, this was an anime that like I had seen before, and me and Justin were like in the mood to just like watch something like badass, and I was like, because we had been watching like a shit ton of like romance animes and like slice of life, and he was like, I don't know, I'm a little in the mood to like watch something short but like kick ass, and I was like, oh really? I was like, do I have the anime for you? And bitch, we binged it all in one night. He could not stop watching it. He was like, holy shit, is this cool? And I was like, right? It's so underrated, bitch. And like, like, I want more. I want more. I just want to know what the fuck happens. And I know I can read the manga, but I can't find it anywhere. So I need to find it, and then I can know what the fuck happens. So don't spoil it for me. But yeah, I really want to see it because like there's like essentially, okay, so let me even tell you what the fuck it's about. Okay. It's like a half vampire guy named Anze, totally hot as fuck, got the sleepy eyes. I'm a sucker for the sleepy eyes. If a man is sleep deprived in anime, he's my type. Aizawa, Nanami. Just I love when they're my husband, literally. I love when they're sleep deprived. Lloyd from Spy Family. Like all these men, they're overworked and exhausted, but I think they're so hot. Just the more tired they are, the better, okay? So anyway, this poor fucking guy, he's like a undercover like detective essentially for a special force that is like essentially an organization who like specializes in like vampire related crimes, because like in this time it's like they're kind of known of, but it's really tried to like keep under wraps because you're a vampire, obvious reasons. Anyway, so there's been like a series of like, you know, devil attacks recently, and it's because it like for them it's like a high like no other when they drink blood. It's insane. It's like not just like addicting in the sense that it's like I have to have it and they literally cannot stop themselves, which is why a lot of the people die, but it's also like it gets them off like sexually. And it's like, bitch, wait, what? So there was like this the way that Anzai and this girl meet is because she's walking home and he's investigating this string of crimes that were like these murders of these women. They were getting raped, and you know what that means. I can't say the word. They were getting raped, and all of their blood was like gone, and like essentially like their like bodies were like torn apart. Some serious serial killer shit. Turns out it was her childhood motherfucking friend that was literally walking her home that night, who's like essentially like obsessed with her, and like was like, but I would never kill her. I would never kill her because she's like the person I actually love. And he's like, so it was all okay to kill all the other bitches? Like what? Like nah. And I'm like, that's not how that works, dude. Like he was like, dude, you like there was like your stuff was at all the scenes of the crime. Like we know it was you, bitch. Like, and
Your stuff.
yeah, your stuff was at all the crime scenes. We know it was you, bitch. And she's just like in utter complete shock because like this person that like she thought she knew so well turns out to be like not just like an actual monster, but like a figurative monster who's like a sick deviant. And like she's like, what the actual fuck, bro? What the actual fuck? And she's like traumatized from it. And for whatever reason, they like form this bond, like, and like it becomes like actually a very sweet, like, not the dude, obviously, Anzai and the girl. My bad. I should have made that a lot more clear. That would have been so fucked up. And we would not be talking about this then. That would be a completely different story. And I would say fuck that anime on a list of animes that I will say fuck you to, like Domestic Girlfriend. Oh, I hate that anime. That's for another day. That's for another day for me to just bitch about anime that I think is disgusting and that I hate. Anyway. Or animes that have like pissed me off to no fucking like most of the time it's because of incest, damn it. Like, why the fuck does that happen so frequently in anime? That shit pisses me off more than anything in the fucking world. Anyway, sorry. I trailed off. I'm sorry. got really passionate about that. Anyway, there's I just want to know what the fuck happens like in between that time that they're separated, because it's like actually like a really fucking sad moment, okay? And you're like, oh shit, they're never gonna see each other again. And then you find out they get reunited. That's sweet. But like what the fuck happens in between that? I wanna know what the fuck happens. Cause like he's going in like training, she's going in training, she's like growing, she's developing herself, she's becoming her own fucking person and shit. But like what the fuck happens? Like I wanna know what the fuck happens, damn it. Ugh. Also, like, again, like, cannot stress that there's some hot ass scenes in this anime where you're like, damn, that's spicy. Again, cannot stress enough that I love when a man is like completely and utterly sleep deprived. That sounds so fucked up, but it's just that they always look so hot because they got like the sleepy eyes and shit. That sounds so fucked up, but like any girl that watches anime and thinks that the sleepy ones are hot, I hope you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ugh. It's like there's like that TikTok sound that's like, I don't know what it is, but that man got a million times hotter the second his life fell apart. It's that, okay? It's that. Okay, I don't know what it is, but they always look so hot. I'm a sucker though for a dark-haired character. I really am. Like anytime there's like I'm like depressed and like my life is shit and I got sleepy eyes and I have dark hair, like that's my shit in anime. I fucking love all those dark-haired characters. They're always so attractive. Levi, perfect example. Like he's like, I'm pissed off all the fucking time. I actually hate everyone. I'm a short king and I'm hot. Like, thank God. Anyway, it's a really good anime. Don't like listen to my description of it. That was actually very bad. But I just want to know what the fuck happens, and I'm really mad that I don't know what the fuck happens, and I just need to read the manga, but I can't find the damn manga. I just want to know what happens. Anyway, so moving on from that, there was like actually a shit ton of other animes I wanted to talk about, but
Getting all spicy just
I'm
talking
sorry.
about it.
I'm thinking about like that hot ass scene where anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, I just want them to experience it because it was so good. Like, oh shit. Anyway, there's like these two scenes that are like reasonably hot. Like they should not have been this hot. And I was like, damn. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway, there were so many other animes that I wanted to add to this list, like to talk about, like why the fuck doesn't this have a season 2? And I ate my words because they've all like recently been announced that they're getting a season 2. But I will say it's been a long ass fucking time since like the first season. So like I was like, they're never gonna get a season 2. And turns out they are. Which so if you're like, bitch, why didn't you talk about this? It's because I just found out they're getting like season 2s. So first one, Skate the Infinity. I've talked about this a number of times, how much I love that anime. It was officially confirmed. We are getting season 2 and an OVA, which I'm so fucking excited about. I cannot wait to see what they do with that anime. I'm very excited. Second one was The Ancient Magus' Bride. We literally just finished that like not even a month ago, and I was like, damn. And I was like searching everywhere. I was like, damn, doesn't have a season 2. There's no update if it's gonna get a season 2. I don't know jack shit. I'm gonna have to read the manga. I'm gonna have to binge this shit, and I have to buy so much of it. Anyway, and then I found out the season 2's been announced. So that's another one. Then Tokyo Revengers. I was like, damn it. That was one that literally me and Justin like binged in an entire like we started it. First of all, we started it at the worst time. We started it at like fucking midnight, and then we stayed up till like 3 a.m. and we're like, we gotta go to bed. But then as soon as we woke up the next morning, we finished it. Like
It also helped. Well, it didn't help, but we had we were sick at the time. I don't know.
Yeah. We had
Panini pressed.
we had what's a good way to say it? I'm trying to think. What do other people say? The vid. We had the vid, and sorry, that sounds so gross. That sounds way worse. That sounds like a STD. Anyway, we were sick, and we had to be gone. We had to be shut in for 2 weeks. You know what the fuck we're talking about? And so we were just binging anime at this time. But it was one that had been on my list for at least like 6 months because it had recently come out, but I just like hadn't gotten around to seeing it. And we could not stop watching it. And we were like, again, an anime that it was like all of these characters' lives are falling apart. They are miserable. They are going through hardcore shit. They are so fucking young. They are incredibly traumatized. God, I love this anime, but it's so fucking good. God, it was so fucking good. And I was like, bitch, when the fuck is like, you better have a motherfucking season 2. And it's an anime that I literally was like, no, I need to know what the fuck happens now, to where I literally like bought the entire like manga on digital just so I could know what the fuck was going on in the like, I just needed to know what the fuck happened next. I could not wait. And then just recently I found out it's been confirmed that it's getting a season 2. And then another one that we absolutely adored was My Dress Up Darling. I was like, damn, I'll be so sad if this doesn't get a season 2 because it was just so cute and like sweet and like adorable and wholesome. And I mean, it's about cosplay, damn it. Like it was so fucking cute. And yeah, that one's getting a season 2 too. And then there was another anime that I really wanted to add to this list, but I'm gonna add it to a different list because I have another episode coming out that that it fits into that category way better. And that's animes that I totally shit on before I watched them. And it was Trapped in a Dating Sim. Like we were scrolling Crunchyroll one day and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to watch, but I was just in the mood to watch something what I thought would be like stupid kind of a thing, just because I was like, I just kind of want something on in the background. Was not gonna pay it any attention. And then like the first episode fucking hooked us and we were like dying laughing. And it was so good. And there was like, it was hilarious. It was like action packed. We were like, what the fuck? This is not at all what we thought it was gonna be. And we fucking loved it. Also, the intro slaps. Okay, that shit goes hard. It's so good. And we were like jamming hardcore to each episode. And again, another one we binged in like a day because it was so good. So I was totally like, this is gonna be ass, and we just like put it on, and it was so fucking good, and I'm so mad at myself. I was like, I would take it all back, damn it. It was so good. So I have a few animes that like I totally was like, that's gonna be ass, and then I wound up loving. So that'll be another episode, but don't know when that'll come out, but I had to talk about that.
Yeah, we put it on as a joke.
Yeah, it was totally one that we like did not expect to be good. It was like, that looks like it'll be terrible. Let's watch it. Like Twilight. I'm gonna keep shitting on Twilight. I talked about it in the last episode. Should I do a Twilight episode? I don't even like Twilight. That's the thing. It's just I just kind of want to shit on it.
I can't remember what episode it was that we recorded it in, but I did just get done editing that said episode.
God, it's like,
But I know I can't remember that. I don't know if that's going to come out before or after this episode, but it's definitely something that you talked yourself into. Again, because I just got done editing the episode, you convinced yourself to do it. So I think you should do it.
it's just that Twilight is like, for me at least, like I read the books, people. I read all of the books. I actually enjoyed some of the books. There are definitely plot holes, lots of them. But to me, it was one of those things where it's so bad, it's good. It's so bad. It's like I can only make fun of it. I don't know anyone who could seriously watch those movies and be like, damn, that was a good movie. Like everything's wrong with it. First of all, God, I do need to talk about it. I just need to like just shit on this movie because everything is wrong about it. Everything is so fucking bad. Gosh, yeah. But anyway, that's gonna be for another episode where I talk about like the animes that I shit on and then ended up loving. But let me guys like, what did you guys think of the animes I talked about today? Have you seen them? Did you like them? If you did see it, what animes do you wish I had talked about? Or and what animes do you wish had a second season? I know there's obvious ones like Ouran High School Host Club, and what's another one I'm thinking of? Like that's the first one that comes to mind. But for me, I have that again in a different category. So it's coming. It just didn't fit in this category for me. I have a reason. So, that was another one. I know a lot of people want a Cowboy Bebop, like, season 2, but here's my stance on that, and spoilers for my husband because he has not finished, Cowboy Bebop. But, Cowboy Bebop, the creator has said many a time, it ended, he wanted it to end that way, and that's why he ended it there. But here's my thing, because the thing is that if you were to have a season 2, it would have to be like a prequel because Spike dies at the end. There is no Spike. Okay? So if you wanted a Cowboy Bebop season 2, it would have to be a prequel. That I would be down for.
The bit of Cowboy Bebop that I've seen, I could see it easily being a prequel because you get tie-ins throughout the episodes that I've caught up in. But I could definitely see it being a prequel more so than anything else, especially since, what I just found out. But yeah.
Yeah. So because Spike dies, obviously, which is why I still have not seen it. I will probably not see it just because I can't. Is the live action. Like when all the shit started coming out and it was like a continuation of it, I was like, how the fuck is that possible? Spike's dead. That makes no fucking sense. Anyway, it just made me angry and I couldn't watch it. And I just kept hearing nothing but bad things. I saw that there were some good things like that people were saying, but I just saw too much bad to want to see it. So I haven't seen it. If you guys want me to see it, just so I know my opinions, then you guys let me fucking know. But yeah, I just if Cowboy Bebop were to have a season 2, for me it would have to be a prequel that goes more into not just Spike's life, but also the other characters' lives like Faye and anyway, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. That would be for me, that would be the only satisfying way to have a season 2 is before the events that happen in Cowboy Bebop. And then what else? We have a lot of stuff lined up for the future that I like a long list, guys. But if there's something more recent you want me to talk about, let me know. If I haven't watched it, I'll watch it. If it's good. No, I'm kidding. Even if it's bad, I'll watch it. There's been a shit ton of anime that are horrible that I've seen. But hey, that could even be an episode. Animes I hate that are just not just because I don't like them, but like because I think they're bad. You know what I mean? Like again, the anime that always comes to my mind is Domestic Girlfriend because damn was that completely marketed towards me in the worst way. Essentially, guys, I'm gonna do a spoiler for that. It's mostly to warn you because I saw this with like virgin eyes, okay? Okay, not virgin eyes, but I was not expecting the shit I saw, okay? And essentially, the kid fucks his both his stepsisters, okay? And it pisses me the fuck off, okay? I did not know that this show was gonna be about motherfucking incest, and it pisses me. And they're like, they're step siblings. I don't give a fuck, okay? It's still gross, okay? And for that reason alone, bitch, I hate it. Anytime there's fucking incest, I'm like, I instantly hate this. I instantly fucking hate this, okay? And am I gonna talk about Vampire Night? Fuck yes, I'm gonna talk about Vampire Night because, again, watch that entire shit, didn't fucking know there was gonna be incest until the last 2 motherfucking episodes. Anyway, god damn it, I hate that shit too. Anyway, sorry. I got really pissed off, but that shit just makes me so angry. It's like, why would you ruin it? Why would you ruin it? Anyway. Okay, what other topics would you like us to talk about in future episodes, guys?
Just leave us a comment on one of our social medias.
I say all that to say it's not always easy being geeky, guys. But make sure you check us out on all of our socials. Leave comments if you want to see a specific thing for us to talk about. Man, I'm really butchering this outro because I got so heated there at the end. Anyways, guys, as always, it's not easy being geeky. Make sure you check us out on all of our socials. Leave us some comments and let us know what you want us to talk about in the future. Follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. What else? I don't fucking know. Anyway, all of the links to
YouTube.
all of our shit on our website, noteasybeinggeeky.com. Thanks again, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Sorry for getting spicy and heated and angry and yelling. I'm sorry for your ears. Love you guys, and bye.